Pastor Kevin Riggs has a tremendous heart for the community.
Franklin Community Church has a long history in the area, but it's been a difficult history. The members had actually voted to close the church. And I was pastoring in Arkansas at the time, and they contacted me. I remember in my own discussions with God during all that time thinking Franklin doesn't need another church. And I just felt God telling me, no, you're going to go back and you're going to start a church that is different from the way you've been pastoring. God put us in this community to walk alongside people who have already been in the community, not to come in and take over, but to come in and say, how can I partner with the churches who are already in Natchez?
I got a real passion for men that's been broken and men who have been left out of the equation.
God over time has given me a tremendous passion for the guys on the streets who have just been kind of left out for whatever reason. They've made bad decisions. Some of it's just the circumstance of environment, and everybody thinks they're not important, but when you look into their eyes, you see life, you see the kingdom of God, and you see the image of God in them. How can I come alongside them and let's work together? Our church a while back started an organization called Franklin Community Development. The overall goal of that organization is to be a social conscience of the community, offering hope to the people in Williamson County. And God has opened up the opportunity for us, if we can, to purchase a home. This home is on Natchez Street in the Franklin community. And actually what would happen is Community Housing Partnership, another organization in town, would actually own the house, and then Franklin Community Development would lease it from them to run a program. And so the house would be called Franklin Community House.
He decided to share more of the vision with me, and I was all in. So I really love that aspect, that being inclusive with people in the neighborhood, and there's some other denominations that's part of the board. And so I think not only will it be a huge impact in some of the men's lives, but I think it'll be a huge impact into the community.
There would be housing, because this house will have 4 apartments attached to it, and those 4 apartments could be rented out at an affordable rate for the low to moderate income families. 1 apartment would be set aside for emergency situations. Here's a furnished apartment where they can stay in for however long, and the house itself would serve as a home for disenfranchised men. But they're ready to get their life back together again. They're ready for a second chance. The guys who are living in the home are in programs for as long as it takes to better themselves, with the goal that their lives would be transformed and each of them would become contributing members of society. Franklin Community House would address the housing, the occupational training, prisoner release, and education, all in one area here in Franklin, really within walking distance of downtown Franklin, so they would have access to jobs and so forth. But in order to do this as a community, we have to come up with $100,000 that can be used for the rehab of the house. And once we have that money, well, then there's a bank that is willing to give a community housing partnership zero interest mortgage loan for the cost of the house. So here's a chance for the community to come together and say, we need this in our community. We need to address the needs that are in our community that oftentimes are being overlooked. And we have a wonderful opportunity to do it through Franklin Community Development and then the opening of Franklin Community House.
I believe it's Psalms 10:17, where the Lord said, I hear the desire of the afflicted, and he will strengthen their needs, their heart. And I think that's what Franklin House will do to a lot of men that's in this community. Not only give them a second chance, but a third chance, and so many other chances that they will eventually be strengthened by the Lord and able to make some positive changes in their lives.
Because there's a lot of stuff that God is doing and has been doing in this community before I ever came on the scene. And it's been fun to see all the things that God has already been doing. And then just where can I plug in, where can I help?